And the American sense of life, she wrote in this essay, she thought that this American sense of life, which I'll tell you what she meant by that in a second, she thought it saves us from dictatorship, that it is the thing that saves us from dictatorship, from totalitarianism. So what is it? If you go to page 205 of the book, she says, a sense of life is, I'm going to skip the very abstract language, okay? But she says, a sense of life is an emotional, subconsciously integrated appraisal of man and of existence. It represents an individual's unidentified philosophy. Now that was still sort of abstract. You didn't even see what I skipped. But the way that I gloss that is I say that what it is, it's an attitude, that Americans come at life with a unique attitude that could be contrasted with the attitude of Europeans. And in the essay, she goes on to talk about what I would call a constellation of various attitudes that she says Americans uniquely possess, and she contrasts them at different places with the attitudes that Europeans possess. And she says that this constellation of attitudes taken together has been the thing that has protected Americans from totalitarianism, from dictatorship. And again, she was writing in 1971. So when you look at this essay, one of the useful exercises is to say, do Americans really possess this constellation of attitudes today? Which ones, et cetera? And I'm going to go through a number of them in a minute. But so she lays them all out because she says that's really the best way to explain what she means by the American sense of life, just give you the examples of the various attitudes that she observes from her perspective coming from Soviet Russia. And then she goes on to say that having those attitudes, which again are just philosophy held implicitly, it's not enough. What you need to do is you need to make the ideas behind these attitudes explicit. And so that's what I see this book that Jonathan was the instigator of playing a crucial role in making these ideas explicit to a large audience. Again, because while the name textbook is there, it's in, I think, a highly digestible form. I'm going to add one little tip. The podcast was a great warm-up, by the way. Thanks, Jim, for that. But